Hello dear students. In this video, I'll be teaching session 7 of the topic Protocols and Standards. The contents of this video are, we'll be learning 5 different Internet Standards Organization, Internet Engineering Task Force, Internet Society, Internet Architecture Board, Internet Research Task Force, and World Wide Web Consortium. Also, we'll be learning Internet Standards and Internet Administration. First, let us understand about standards organization. Before we see what are the tasks done by the different standards organization, we should first know why these standards organizations are required. Whether it be any kind of research or components which are in existence today, we require them to be standard products, because if there is a standard for the product, its quality will be assured, and the product will come at an economic price with good service capability. That's why today we look for standardized products. Whatever we buy, any product which we buy in market, first we check on the product about its standardization, whether it is an ISI standard, or when it comes to food items, the food security standardization details we are going to check on the product. Similarly, in order to ensure standard quality in internet softwares and hardwares, network softwares and hardwares, there are standards organizations which are working for the standardization of these products. Because of standardization, we can expect universally common quality and standard of the product, and the kind of working, the style of working of the products can also be expected to be common worldwide if the product is standardized. Hence, standards organizations are very important, even in internet, just like in any other field of operation. The first standards organization which we are going to discuss now is the Internet Engineering Task Force, or IETF. The IETF works mainly on the TCP/IP network model. TCP/IP is a standard network model which is in operation on internet today. The IETF will formulate, publish, and regulate the standards which are related to internet in TCP/IP. So basically, the IETF specifications are mainly focused on the protocols which are used on TCP/IP model. The IETF is an open standards organization. Anybody who is interested to participate in the working and development of protocols can participate directly in this task force without any formal membership. And all documents related to IETF are freely and easily available on internet. The second standards organization is the Internet Society. Internet Society is a non-profit organization. It was established in US during 1992. So it's a quite old organization. Its job is to support technical development in the field of internet. So it conducts a range of activities on internet standards and education about internet features, access to internet resources, and policies regarding internet. The third organization is Internet Architecture Board. This board is a board which consists of groups of researchers and professionals who work for development of technical aspects of the internet. The main job of these researchers and professionals is to supervise the standards of network architectures and the protocols, and also to review the issues regarding any internet standards. The IAB provides broad guidance to the other two organizations, the IETF and ISOC. The next organization is Internet Research Task Force. the IRTF. IRTF basically focuses on the long-term development of the internet. So it involves through its research groups on research and development in the field of internet. Basically, these research groups work on development of internet protocols, application technologies, and sophisticated network architectures. The last standards organization is the World Wide Web Consortium. It's also called as W3 Consortium. It is the foremost standards organization when we talk about World Wide Web. So it consists of a large number of member organizations which work to develop standards for web and for improvement of web services. W3 Consortium has developed many popular standards till date, like the HTML, HTTP, XML, CSS, so on and so forth, which are quite popular today on the World Wide Web. So now, till now we learned what are the standards organizations which work on development of internet. Now let's see what are internet standards. So an internet standard is a thoroughly tested specification which is quite useful to the internet users, and in fact it has to be adhered by the internet users. So it consists of a specification which gives a strict procedure through which the internet standards can assure quality. Any specification, any such specification which has to become a standard later, it starts as an internet draft. An internet draft is nothing but a draft working document. Like you can imagine it as some idea which is proposed by some researcher or by a work group. So it's a draft which is proposed, an idea which is proposed as a draft document. It doesn't have any official status and its lifetime is 6 months. So within these 6 months, if it is implemented by any other groups, at least 2 of other research groups or work groups, then this particular internet draft can go to its next stage of development. So in order to assure that some people will implement these ideas, first the internet authorities have to recommend this draft to be published as a request for comment or RFC. So whenever an internet draft is published as RFC, it will be assigned a number, unique identity number, and it will be made available to all the interested people who are wanting to try this particular idea out by implementing it in their labs. So such RFCs, they go through several levels, still they become a formal standards. Now let us see what all maturity levels does an RFC go through during its lifetime. So this diagram here, it shows the various stages of an RFC. An RFC first will be in the form of an internet draft. So as we all know, internet draft is the initial status of any idea. So this internet draft will be published as RFC first by the internet authorities. The internet draft, once it becomes an RFC, it will be called as a proposed standard. This proposed standard will have a lifetime of 6 months, and within 6 months, if at least 2 implementations happen for this proposed standard, this will become a draft standard. The next stage of the RFC from proposed standard is draft standard. So this draft standard has a lifetime of 4 months. In 4 months, this draft standard has to be at least implemented twice by 2 working groups. So when these standards are implemented, the idea is validated and the pros and cons of this idea will be verified, and there is a chance for the improvement of this idea as well. So once the internet draft goes through the stages proposed standard and draft standard successfully, then it becomes an internet standard. So if at all any RFC fails to become a draft standard, it will be pushed onto as a historic standard. So historic standards are those standards which represent ideas of significant importance in the field of internet standards. So any ideas which are very significant in the working of internet, but they fail to become a draft standard or internet standard, will become historic standards, as well as some standard which went to the draft standard stage, but it couldn't successfully become an internet standard, will also be designated as a historic standard. And of course, all internet standards are also part of historic standards because they are major milestone achievements in the field of internet standards, and they are quite popular and in use or of benefit to the internet community. Hence, all of these become part of historic standards. So historic standards, they contain details of all those standards, whether it be proposed standards, draft standards, or internet standards, which are significant in terms of history of internet research. So some standards can be experimental as well. So in some extraordinary or experimental situations, some RFCs can be passed, or some ideas can be passed on an experimental basis. So they might become a proposed standard, or they might go on to become a historic standard as well. And there is one more maturity level for RFC, that is the informational level. So informational level or informational standards, they contain details of all major standards. The entire details of all major standards, they are maintained in the informational maturity level. So just to give a brief revision, proposed standard is a specification which is stable, which is understood and of sufficient interest to the internet community. So it is some RFC which is approved and considered to be quite interesting for the internet community, and it is left for implementation purpose. So during the proposed standard level, the RFC will be usually tested and implemented by several different working groups. The draft standard is a proposed standard which is elevated to the draft standard status after two successful independent and interoperable implementation. So interoperable means a generic implementation which is not hardware dependent or which is not computer dependent. So any implementation which can run in a same fashion irrespective of on which computer it has been implemented or it is in current use, is called as independent or interoperable implementation. So if such an implementation happens, the proposed standard gets elevated into the draft standard stage. So generally, whichever standard comes as a proposed standard will become a draft standard with minor modifications if there are any problems, and sufficient care would be taken to modify in order to encounter the problem. And finally, the proposed standard will become a draft standard. Similarly, a draft standard also with minor modifications to tackle the problems will surely become an internet standard. So very rare cases that such standards won't reach the internet standard level. Coming to internet standard, a draft standard reaches internet standard status after demonstrations of successful implementation. So 4 months lifetime and 2 independent implementations of draft standard will elevate it to the internet standard maturity level. Coming to historic maturity level, historic RFCs, they are significant from historical perspective of internet research. So all those standards which have been either superseded by later specifications or never passed the necessary maturity levels to become internet standards, all these move on to become historic standards. Experimental standards are those RFCs which describe works related to experimental situations. So the works carried out during experimental situations will never affect the normal working of the internet. Without disrupting normal working of internet, the experimentation part will be carried out on some of the parts of the internet protocols or models. Such RFCs are called as experimental RFCs. And informational maturity level contains the general historical and tutorial information related to the RFCs which were passed. So these informational RFCs or informational details, they are written by the vendors instead of some internet organizations. So internet organizations don't write the informational details, only the vendors will write the informational RFCs. Now coming to the various requirement levels of an RFC. The RFC will generally have 5 requirement levels. Requirement levels basically define how important, how required these RFCs are. So if an RFC is labeled required, then it means that the RFC should be compulsorily implemented by all systems which are using internet in order to achieve minimum conformance. Some examples of such required RFCs are the Internet Protocol IP and the Internet Control Mailing Protocol. So these two are a compulsory requirement for any of the system which is using internet. So such RFCs are called as required RFCs. The second requirement level for an RFC is recommended. So an RFC labeled recommended, it is not compulsory, but it is recommended because it is quite useful for the system which is using internet. Some examples are FTP and Telnet. FTP is file transfer protocol. This is required in order to cater file transfer and file sharing on internet. And Telnet protocol is required for remote login application of the internet. So these are recommended RFCs. These need not be mandatory or required RFCs. The third requirement level of the RFC is elective level. An RFC is labeled elective if it is not required and not recommended. So if at all the system wants, for its benefit, it can make use of elective RFCs. So some special mailing protocols are examples of elective RFCs. If the system makes use of such mail servers, it can implement those mailing protocols. The fourth requirement level is limited use. So any RFC which is labeled as limited use, it should be used only in limited situations. So some examples of limited situations or limited use RFCs are experimental RFCs. So experimental RFCs are limited use. So these should be used only in extraordinary situations. The last requirement level of RFC is the not recommended requirement level. An RFC which is labeled as not recommended is not appropriate for general use. So normally historic RFCs fall under not recommended categories. So historic RFCs need not be implemented on any computers which use internet because they are not recommended by their label. So that's about internet standards. Now coming to internet administration. So internet primarily is a research domain in the field of computer science. So it is constantly evolving day by day. Every day there are new researches, new inventions which are happening in the field of internet. Hence, it has gained a broader user base and commercial significance today. For this success of internet, various groups, they are working in coordination and they are guiding this growth and development. So this picture in the slide shows the various organizations which are involved in the internet administration. So if you observe this diagram, this shows the organizations are nothing but the standards organization, which we were discussing in the beginning part of the video. So if you observe here, the Internet Society is the foremost organization, standards organization, which is working in the internet administration. Under it comes the Internet Architecture Board. Under Internet Architecture Board, the IRTF and IETF are working. So in IRTF, there are several working groups which are working on working under IRSG, and in IETF, there are several work groups of different research areas working under the IESG committee. Now let us see what are the main functions carried out by these different levels of internet administration. The first and foremost level of internet administration is the ISOC, Internet Society. So this international non-profit organization, it provides support for internet standards process. It promotes research and scholarly activities in the field of internet. So any new research and invention which is happening in the field of internet comes under direct purview of Internet Society. The next level in the administration is the Internet Architecture Board. The IAB, the Internet Architecture Board, is the technical advisor for the Internet Society. So this IAB, it oversees the constant and continuous development which is happening in the TCP/IP protocol suite. So anything technical regarding internet will be under the purview of IAB. So IAB will accomplish these jobs using the IETF and IRTF. So the IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force, it's a forum of working groups managed by the Internet Engineering Steering Group. So working group is nothing but a group of engineers who are working for some common purpose, for some common research. That's what we call as working groups. So several working groups, they form an Internet Engineering Steering group. So Internet Engineering Steering Group will manage several working groups. The IESG allots different works to the working groups and get the work done through them. The IETF has a basic responsibility for identifying the operational problems in the internet and solutions to these problems. So along with that, the IETF also develops and reviews specifications which are intended to become internet standards. So any draft, if it has to become internet standard, the RFC should be approved after a thorough review by the IETF. Once the RFC is approved, only then the lifetime of the RFC, the life cycle of the RFC starts, and it has a chance to become the internet standard. The next important forum which contributes to the IAB, to the administration aspects of IAB, is the Internet Research Task Force. So IRTF is a forum of working groups which are managed by Internet Research Steering Group. So IRTF's main focus is research, long-term research. So computer science is an ever-growing field. We can expect new products and new technologies every day. Every 2 to 3 months, a new technology or a new application or a new computing device is becoming obsolete today because lot of developments are taking place in the field of computer science. That's all because of the research which is going on in the field of computer science. There are many researchers who are working on these fields. They are coming up with new ideas, patents, and products. Hence, such a drastic growth is happening in the computer science industry. And the major portion of this research is attributed to the field of internet. And this portion of research is completely under the control of the IRTF. The IRTF, through the Internet Research Steering Group, manages the working groups which work on several research topics like Internet protocol development, applications, Internet architecture development, and technologies, and take care of these research works and make sure that they become eventually standardized products. So in this video, we learned several standards organizations which are working for the growth and development of the internet field. Also, we learned the meaning of internet standards and how does a draft standard become a formalized internet standard, and what is the life cycle which it undergoes till it becomes an internet standard. And we also learned how the administration happens hierarchically through these standards organization. So we learned internet administration in detail. Thank you.